from games, Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. It's Badgerfest 2021, and I'm standing here with Recall the Remains. A few hours after you've taken this stage. Guys, how was that for you?
Honestly, brilliant. It was nerve-wracking beforehand, but brilliant. Loved it.
I have to ask them, why nerve-wracking? Considering how long this has been on hold for.
It's the waiting. That's obviously getting here, that's all fine, but it's the waiting when we got told to be there in the back by 1 o'clock.
Right.
You've only got 15 minutes. 15 minutes doesn't seem long, but then we're just like, we want to go, we want to play, we want to have fun, we want to do the thing that we're here to do, and then
the opening was pretty daunting.
Yeah, a bit like as you said, it's daunting to play into such a big festival like this. We need to do as best as we can.
Do you have that whole thing as well, being the first band on, and automatically there's already been an evening of music yesterday? How many people are going to turn up? How hungover they're going to be?
Yes.
It's that, and are they going to move? Are they going to care? Because they're still off, maybe half asleep, you know. But no, everyone was pretty lively.
Really engaged.
Well, that's the thing. It was absolutely rocking in there, and being, personal, hungover ourselves, we were kind of like, okay, let's see how this goes, and it was absolutely bouncing. As it goes on, how much of it do you take in? How much do you look at and go, okay, these people are really enjoying that, and we are now vibing off them almost?
So it's kind of like, it's just not even if people are moving, it's like if people just cheering afterwards, it's still like, it makes me, I don't know about you guys, but it still makes me just like, I'm going to give more for the next song, and I'm just going to keep trying to elevate it more and more afterwards.
We look out quite often, kind of gauge the room, and today was fantastic. Like, we looked out and we were like, oh, they like it.
Yeah, they like us.
Well, 30 minutes does just fly by in a blur. I mean, how do you kind of acclimatise yourselves to that 30 minutes? Just here we go, we start, and then it's over and it's done, and we're just going to move on.
It's kind of like, I don't think we stop until we're packed, until we're fully, till we're off stage, we're packed away, and then we get the stuff in the cars. That's when we're just like, we can relax now, we can now enjoy our day.
One of the things we noticed was directly after you finished playing, the merch queue was long, and it seems like you've sold a ton of stuff.
Yeah, we've run out basically.
We had, because of having to go to get your car, so you wasn't there, had to go then load the stuff in my car. These two still packing away. We left it to our man Elliot here.
He's our new sales advisor apparently.
I didn't do very well.
You did really well.
We still sold quite a bit.
Yeah.
If you want a small or a medium, we've got loads of those.
Well, we don't have anything.
It's seen to all the largest, so nothing to do about that.
It's the rock and metal world, large is what you need.
Exactly.
We're restocking soon anyway,
Yes.
so it'll all be available again.
Deeper question then, let's look at the last year and a half to 2 years. How have Recall the Remains kind of survived the pandemic period? How have you got through it? Do you think you've got through stronger?
It's all been social media for the most part, keeping that nice and strong, making sure that the band stays strong, it keeps the presence where we could keep it, and keeping in touch, I'd say, with all our friends in the community as well, making sure that we're touching base with other bands, with promoters, with venues, just trying to keep everything alive whilst obviously I couldn't do much.
I'd have to say, I think you can agree with, and you can agree with this as well. These two throughout the lockdown, just literally keeping our page active. Did such a brilliant job for it.
Did you find you were kind of looking out as around, particularly as every band, from the biggest to the smallest, were basically in the same boat, trying to keep up and do something on social media, and you were struggling or finding new ways to work?
Yeah, it was just like, we tried to do luckily, we were very lucky with, especially with our EP, just we had majority of the stuff done, lockdown hit, we were supposed to go back for a couple of days, and our recording engineer Tom from Monochrome Productions just emailed us, guys, I've pretty much got everything here. If you trust me, I'll finish the songs for you.
Okay.
It was literally just mixing and mastering.
Yeah.
It was just mixing and mastering, so it was like, we don't need to be there, we just go, we trust you, mix the songs.
And you trusted him then?
Yeah. He's never he's never failed us before. He's our guy to record with.
Yeah. Well, the end result was spectacular, of course.
Yes.
How's the reception been? I mean, Dust is obviously settled. That was released back in February? February was it?
It was March.
Oh, it was March. There we go. Yeah. So it's been out for a little while now.
Yes.
But obviously, you never really got the opportunity to capitalise on it.
No.
do you feel like the dust has settled and you've now to reflect on it, or are you trying to move forward from it?
We've hit 5 figures, haven't we, on plays? So just completely
Yeah.
unprecedented. We never expected anything like what
No.
we got. Chuffed to bits.
Yeah, I think when you sent the picture of actually like how many streams we got, I was like, holy crap, all right. That's Jesus.
What do you think's changed it? Why do you think that's the case?
I've personally, for myself, I don't know what you guys say, I put it down to these two for keeping us so active through because obviously everyone can only act digitally. So if our social medias are lacking, we're going to fall down with like not hitting people's pages and everything like that. So the fact that these two were keeping it active as best that they could has really helped us.
I'll have to ask the guys that are involved in that aspect of it. Is it something you actually enjoy, or is it just a necessary evil? Because obviously, social media gets a bit of a hammering these days.
Cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's a bit of both, really. I don't mind designing like the graphics and stuff, and then Band tends to make the posts, the actual, the body of the posts a lot of the time. On top of that, though, we also had a really good PR campaign for the actual EP launch, so that helped because I think it got us in touch with you originally, and loads of other kind of outlets who reviewed it and shared it as well. So getting that kind of support really helped as well.
Do you think you've learned a lot, like during this period, particularly in how to market yourself?
Yeah.
I know it's such a boring word, but it is such a major part of being in a band.
I would say definitely, like when we had the PR campaign, we wasn't as ready as we should have been. But because of we got there because of lockdowns and everything, it was postponing a lot of stuff, like especially with music videos. It helped us learn that like to get everything sorted beforehand, and then we don't have to worry about it then it's just literally we have the set releases, then we don't have to stress then.
Tony's doing a marketing degree, so he's learning
Literally.
anyway.
There we go, that's so important. When you look at then stepping forward and what comes next, particularly as we come out of this pandemic period, the live show music is returning to such a degree. What does Before the Remains have to do now to sort of, dare I say, step up, to continue that
All
being
the
noticed?
shows. All the shows.
All the shows.
Biggest playing live is the most important part now, yeah?
I feel like we've not done, I don't feel like we say that, but obviously we've done everything that we need to do. But it's now through doing all the social media for like the last 18 months, it's now just showing what we can do as a band and showing the kind of energy we can give to then reinforce the posts that we've been putting up.
Talking of which then, what is currently going on in the camp?
Oh,
You can talk about all these
we are just literally, we're on the last stages of getting 3 new singles done. We are in the midst of getting some more like merch done, like new designs, some designs that have, or like style of shirts that's not been done yet.
Really?
Yeah.
For us, at least.
Yeah, for us at least.
Oh, okay.
We will say we've kind of ran into like one band that's done like what we want to do, but it's going to be like 2 different kind of colours, so it's not much of a problem. We get on with them anyway, so we'll probably drop a message like, we're not copying you. We're not copying you. We had this idea for so long.
Everything's been done. What are you going to do?
Exactly. So like, I don't think they'll mind. We get on with them anyway, so it's just keeping like, it's same with content, is like keeping like stuff that we can continuously kind of like sell to people, and like patches, we need to get on patches.
Yeah, we've been hassled about patches.
We have been hassled.
Have you got patches? No, sorry.
Yeah. Patches is a definite must that we need to get sorted.
Coming out of the pandemic and seeing the live shows come back, there's obviously a desire from an audience to see live music again. Are you hopeful or confident that this is going to continue? E.g., we're going to see local bands, particularly in our own country, the UK, and people are going to keep coming out from, or do you think over time that will just drift away and we'll kind of go back to the old way of doing things?
I feel personally for myself, because of like bands not being able to come, like international bands not being able to come over, people are going to more local gigs. But that's also going to make, that's just going to keep the local bands that keep going forward then. So even when people are going, we get the international bands back, the local bands is just going to keep carrying up because they've had people come to their shows, engage with them, and it's also for everyone else finding new music then.
Yeah.
Me and Anne went to Slam Dunk, and like it was an almost all British lineup because obviously Americans can't travel over it, and like it was brilliant the amount of kind of British bands that I might have not have gone to see in the past, or I've liked North
or south?
We went north.
Oh, we were at the same festival then.
Oh, no way.
We passed you, absolutely.
But yeah,
It was
so
an
you know
incredible
exactly what I mean.
show.
Like, it was pretty much all British lineup, and it was amazing. It was probably the best slam dunk I've been to.
Well, look at Bloodstock this year.
Yeah.
With the extra day, which was predominantly, well, majority our entire scene. Do you feel part of that? Do you feel proud of that?
Yeah, the fact that it seems to like, as much as it's bad to say, but like I feel like COVID has made our local UK scene thrive so much more because we can't get these international bands in.
They realised what we could lose as
Yeah.
well, ultimately. So it's
Yeah.
made everybody appreciate what we had and to make the most of every show, basically.
Did you also have that kind of concern? Because obviously coming out of COVID and the issue in regard to funding and stuff like that to local venues, that it would survive, that many venues would stay open and stuff like that.
I'd say like definitely like Scruffy Murphy's was one of them in Birmingham.
Did Gifford as well. in
And
Wolverhampton.
Gifford, like Scruffy Murphy's was supposed to get closed down and then have a shopping mall built over it. And that was like one of the ones that our first Birmingham gig, so it was like we don't want that to close. We don't want all these things. And even like the Flappers come back.
Yeah, the Flapper was going to go, and then it got brought back again for like a third time in 5 years.
But yeah, it was a worry. It was a worry, but
People
everything.
keep doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not
Like
going to be a problem, is it?
like we were the first band on, and the amount of people that were there was just brilliant. Like couldn't thank everyone there more than what we could.
I have to ask then, as a bunch of Southerners coming from all the way from London,
Telford. Telford.
what is it about the North scene that seems so much stronger than any other part of the country?
It's just community. Like there's the local promotions like the 0161 Manchester Underground community, like, and they're run by like James and Jane, who are really just nice people, and like everyone knows them, everyone likes them. They put on gigs all over Greater Manchester. And there's always a good turnout. It doesn't matter who's playing. There's always these people, like good turnout, and everyone's just friendly and welcoming.
Really good web up here, isn't there?
Yeah, it just
more
seems
so
like
than-
they seem like they're actually more like family than they are friends. Like you see like the same people that will come, and they never seem bored of like seeing us again and again and again. So it's literally brilliant. Love it.
It's infuriating from a South perspective. Well, we might get every single band under the sun that wants to play the big stadiums because it's London, it's the capital. Local, the scene and stuff like that. Obviously, touring is a lot harder. Is that something that not just that you want to do, but you have to do?
Touring's a bit of a problem for us. That's the thing, because of work commitments.
Of course.
It's trying hard to try and book the time off to do it, and trying to get to the places. So it's like it's fitting it in where we can. So like this weekend we're at Derby Alt Fest tomorrow, and just trying to fit in everything we can just to try and play as many shows as we can. If we had the chance to get the time off, I think we'd do like a 2-week tour at this rate.
We'd never
Yeah.
go home.
No, I'd turn around to my dogs and just be like, I love you, everything like that, but you're not going to see me for a month.
Well, we were supposed to have a tour last October.
Yes.
And like with Beyond Your Design and
It was just beyond the
Beyond
design.
Your Design, there we go. And like with Derby Alt Fest and that as well, but it all got cancelled.
From a fan perspective, you know how we can help? Buy your shit, basically.
Literally,
Buy your shit, listen to your music.
It's the same. Yeah, any other band just by supporting us. It's just like by coming to the shows. Just by coming to the shows alone supports us. Buying a CD, buying a shirt if you have the money to do it, and like even interacting with us. Because like even if you don't buy that stuff and you interact with us, and it's like it still makes us feel good.
Yeah, if you say you liked our set, then we're going like, yes, we want to come back here. Right?
We literally we can get there just like, oh my god, people actually come up to us and say they liked us.
Do you feel that people are intimidated by the whole simple fact that you are in a band, and that naturally people are like, well, you're up there and I'm down here?
Oh no.
How do you break that barrier?
Yeah, no. It's
don't
a
hate
we. I think even if we do, like the band does get bigger, I would still want to do like.
He's going to be in the pits.
I will
Hands
still jump into the pits. If I see a pit, I will jump into a pit.
I
Don't care.
like what Bury Tomorrow do, because like they play big stages, but they're just like, we're just the same as you. We just get to play up here for half an hour.
Down-
So I think we're kind of the same mindset. Just like,
What holds you to this when you're like your Metallica size and doing stadiums? Like, wait, you said you'd get back into the pit.
I'll make a promise for the band now. If we ever got to like bigger stages where we're doing massive tours and everything like that, we'll still do like Gifford show. We'll still go to the Gifford. We'll still go to Scruffy Murphy's, and we'll still do all these smaller shows because it's the venues that helped us.
It's the lifeblood of the scene.
Yeah, it's what's helped us.
Do you look at other bands that in the UK scene who have risen to quite heights? And I'm going to use one as an example, Welsh Sleeps, who will still regularly play these small venues. Do you look at them as kind of an inspiration, as a way to be?
Yeah, definitely. If they're doing well, then it just makes like the UK scene look stronger. Rising tides lift all ships, so it's great.
I'd say like Bring Me the Horizon as well. They still, even though how big they are and how big they've gotten recently, they've still been playing a lot of small venues. So it helps push.
Sometimes they're the best shows.
Yeah. Sometimes they are the best shows.
It is what it is. If
Yeah.
you don't like them, you can't knock that. Absolutely. No. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?